Tonight on CTV News, picking up the pieces.
It's hard to even describe it. It's just like a big pile of burnt stuff.
Unimaginable losses in the wake of a destructive wildfire as reinforcements arrive to bolster the front lines. Also tonight.
He was waving on something white.
That's why we are here, just to see him, that he is okay.
Alive after spending 3 days stranded on a mountain. A massive search for a missing hiker comes to a successful end. And
it's a very special year, and I consider myself really fortunate to get to be a part of it.
Saying goodbye to Canadian icons of the sky, the Snowbirds as we know them make their final flights in Metro Vancouver.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We are hearing more heart-wrenching tales from families trying to figure out what comes next after the Bradley Creek fire destroyed their homes and livelihoods. CTV's Ben Milger now with a couple who lost their house but say they are grateful to still have each other.
It's hard to even describe it. It's just like a big pile of burnt stuff.
The house Bill and Kelly Richards shared has been reduced to a pile of charred metal and ashes.
When you have nothing to begin with, and then you really end up with nothing, it's a big pill to chew.
Up to 230 families have similar stories. All that remains of this house off of Highway 97 is a stone fireplace and a pizza oven. This CCTV from a nearby business shows the fire approaching and then crossing the highway before the house goes up in flames. Most of the thousands under evacuation order haven't been able to check on their properties because the areas ravaged by the fire are still not safe.
It's looking like World War III, but hey, we're doing the best we can to get things back to normal and get people back into their homes. But it'll be a little bit yet.
The Richards consider themselves lucky because they still have their dogs and each other.
That's about the only comfort we got is sticking together and staying as a family unit.
A photo from a neighbor shows their motorhome appears undamaged, but they know the road ahead is long and uncertain.
Fortunately, we have a lease on the property and we can go out and rebuild. But
the funds, I don't know how we're going to get a hold of it.
Yeah, we don't know.
We've heard a lot of similar stories this week from people who have lost everything and others who don't yet know what they'll return to as they grapple with that reality. The fire that has already destroyed so much continues to burn. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vernon.
Reinforcements from Mexico have arrived in BC as local crews struggle to contain the more than 100 fires burning across the province. About 7,000 properties remain on evacuation order, leading to more questions about why a provincial state of emergency hasn't been declared and why the Premier hasn't spoken publicly about the wildfire situation until today. CTV's Rob Buffum has that story.
Thanks for coming. Premier Eby welcomed the Cavalry Thursday. 200 firefighters from Mexico coming to help battle the wildfires devastating chunks of southern BC.
Viva Mexico! Viva! Viva Canada!
Viva! With hundreds of properties across the province destroyed, including more than 200 by the Bradley Creek fire near Vernon, and thousands of people forced to flee their homes under evacuation orders, the opposition says the Premier should have addressed the public earlier.
You know, the buck stops with the Premier.
Frankly, that the last thing that wildfire fighters need when they're facing down a wall of flame is for the Premier to show up to hold a press conference. They need to focus on life response.
Others, including the mayor of Merritt, where 190 people from neighboring communities have ended up, says a ban on backcountry activities should be imposed along with a provincial state of emergency.
We're turning people away, having to go to another community, hoping they will find lodging there. And the ESS would be able to then commandeer those rooms if we had a provincial state of emergency.
We should be at a state of emergency, but I guess the Premier doesn't believe that.
Although states of emergency were declared province-wide in 2023 and 2021, Eby says local ones are sufficient, and the tools triggered by a provincial one, such as travel restrictions, securing hotels for evacuees, or rationing gas, aren't needed yet.
If conditions require us to do that, we will not hesitate to use those authorities. We're advised that as of this moment that I'm speaking to you, that is not required.
These reinforcements, part of 600 firefighters arriving here from other provinces or countries, adding to the 2,000 local boots on the ground as the province braces for the heart of an already fierce wildfire season.
Well, Rob joins us live now from Victoria. Rob, a welcome sight seeing those 200 firefighters arriving today. Where will they be sent?
Well, the plan is for them to be sent to the Brunswick Complex fire. That's the fire that's been burning near Boston Bar for weeks now. The idea is to send them there for a 2-week deployment to give some of the firefighters from BC that have been toiling away there a break and allow them to come back fresh and geared up for what's expected to be a hot, dry remainder of August. Nafisa.
Rob Buffum live tonight. Thank you, Rob. Less than 24 hours after it first ignited, a small wildfire in Metro Vancouver is now under control. 2 families were forced from their homes in Anmore as the fire in Belcarra Regional Park came close to properties. And while the fire is now held, crews say the work is far from over. CTV's Dimitra Maragos has the latest.
Firefighters worked through the night to contain the Belcarra Regional Park wildfire.
Fire has now moved to the condition of status of being held. That means that this fire will not be growing beyond its current perimeter.
40 firefighters on scene working through hot, dry conditions using hose lines to attack the flames and hold the fire to 1.5 hectares. 2 homes in Anmore Village were evacuated and 35 properties were on evacuation alert. Those have now been rescinded. Christine Sutton says while she was just outside the evacuation area, she was ready to go.
Last night it was quite nerve-wracking.
And for her, the fire hit especially close to home. 2 of her children were among the firefighters battling the blaze.
Like, you're worrying about the fire, but you're also worrying about the kids, and this is the first time they've ever been part of any kind of wildfire.
You can see how much of this hill has been scorched by this fire. Firefighters have been working in hot, dry, and steep conditions. Officials tell me the fire originated at the base of this hill and worked its way up.
CTV News was taken behind the fire lines where firefighters walked us through the area they battled overnight. Crews still extinguishing hotspots and digging into the ground to make sure the fire wouldn't reignite. But crews also faced another challenge when they arrived on the scene.
Crews did encounter a downed power line, actually came down as crews were walking up the trail to the fire ground. It's a significant transmission line belonging to BC Hydro.
With the down transmission line, ground crews temporarily backed out while the aerial firefighters continued attacking the blaze from above. In a statement, BC Hydro says, our crews have already made some progress in replacing the electrical infrastructure, and the line is de-energized. There were no power outages as a result of this event.
We're in contact with BC Hydro and their transmission teams, and we'll be able to provide more information in the coming days.
While the fire is now held, crews say their work isn't finished. With warm, dry weather expected to continue, firefighters will remain on scene.
We don't have any rain in the forecast, so it will be warm and dry, but we're going to be putting water on all those hot spots, digging deep into the ground, finding them, and we are going to be watching it closely.
Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Anmore.
A big relief there in Anmore. And here's a look from our tower cam on Grouse Mountain. A bit more relief today from the smoke. You can still see it, but I also saw blue sky today.
Yes, exactly. So definitely better. The winds have changed. We are still seeing smoky conditions, but definitely a relief from yesterday. So here's a look at our air quality health risk index right now. So across the lower mainland, it's at low to moderate. So low for the south, the west corner of Metro Vancouver. Everywhere else is seeing moderate. Look at the eastern sections of the Fraser Valley, finally down from the 10+ extreme health risk. Now you're only sitting at a 6. We still have air quality warnings in place. So eastern Fraser Valley, 100-mile shoe stop, Thompson, Okanagan, as well as Nicola region. You're still under the orange warning, Metro Vancouver and the Caribou region, Fraser Canyon, and the Okanagan stretching all the way to West Kootenay, still under a yellow air quality warning for the next 24 to 48 hours. So it is advised to stay indoors and reduce your outdoor activity.
All right, thank you, Anne. Still ahead, Trump calls Canadian leaders nasty while our two countries continue to negotiate trade under the threat of new U.S. tariffs. We'll have the latest from Washington later tonight on CTV News at 6. A number of people in Chilliwack are looking for somewhere else to go following a fire at an apartment building. Video shows heavy black smoke and flames coming from the building along Spadina Avenue. Crews say the fire broke out just before 7:30 last night. They say one resident and one firefighter sustained injuries. A cat also had to be rescued from the building. A total of 36 units were impacted. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. We have more tonight on the impending closure of the Richmond Night Market. It's shutting down next month following a 26-year run. The market has garnered worldwide attention for its creative food scene and specialty items. CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports now the hunt is on to find a new home for the summer experience.
It's been a cultural staple in Richmond for 26 years, and now the annual night market is shutting its doors.
So was I surprised? Not necessarily shocked, but I was very sad when it was actually confirmed.
In a statement, organizers say the market's lease has come to an end. It's moved several times before settling here near the Bridgeport Canada Line station in 2012.
The innovation and the things that they've done over the years to try to stay current and to continue to attract visitors from all over has been very admirable.
Hosting up to 250 vendors and attracting more than 1 million visitors annually to the city, it's a huge loss to the community.
It's a loss to the city in a cultural sense, and a tourism sense, but also in a financial sense as well.
Brody says the city is working to find another location to see the market stay in Richmond.
We will work with the operator, the owner and operator of the night market, to see what else can be secured and do what else we can as a city.
It's something the Conservative Electors Association says it will make a priority in the upcoming civic election, criticizing City Hall for turning a blind eye.
City Council can start working on this right away, even before the election, because really this is about the community, not more of an election issue in my mind.
Still, saving the night market might not be as easy as it seems, and the closure will be a big hit to the local economy.
Hundreds of thousands of people that are not going to come into our city, and that's the reality of life.
There you go, guys! The food and vibrant atmosphere can still be experienced one last time this summer. The final day is September 20th. As for what comes next, only time will tell. Yasmin Gandam, CTV News, Richmond.
The province has just introduced tough new rules for businesses that offer subscription-based services and companies that sell big-ticket items door to door. CTV's Shannon Patterson shows us they're designed to protect consumers from high-pressure tactics and services that make it hard to cancel.
When shopping for streaming or other online subscription services, it's not always easy to figure out what you're buying or how to cancel.
With online subscriptions, many fees that can be instantaneously charged or renewed without a consumer being aware of it, there is a need for us to step in to set clear rules in the marketplace that protects consumers.
So the province has announced new rules for companies that sell online subscriptions.
Under the rules, businesses must provide advance notice before certain subscription contracts automatically renew. And people now have the right to be able to cancel subscription renewals at any time without fees or penalties.
More consistent contract requirements mean consumers will have better understanding of what they're committing to, especially before they sign. This includes a clear description of what they'll receive, delivery details, and the return, refund, and cancellation policies that apply.
The province is also banning high-pressure door-to-door sales for certain big-ticket home items like air conditioners, heat pumps, and furnaces.
These situations can leave consumers feeling pressured to make costly decisions without enough time or information. The protections are particularly significant for people who are more vulnerable, like seniors or newcomers or people who are facing financial hardships.
Well, Consumer Protection BC will start by educating businesses that aren't in compliance.
They have the ability to enforce administrative fines on businesses at $50,000 for a business and $5,000 for individuals that breach these rules.
Rules that should make it easier to know what you're buying and how to cancel. Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
After the break, lucky to be alive.
And if you zoom in, you can see that it's pretty steep cliffs. We're not sure how he got in there.
A missing hiker was rescued after spending 3 days lost in Vancouver Island backcountry. When CTV News continues, stay with us. The second weekend of August has arrived, and a wide variety of summertime events is on offer across Metro Vancouver and into the Fraser Valley. We've got a full list of fun things to check out on our website, ctvnewsvancouver.ca. A few days after their strike, the union representing WestJet cabin crew is sharing details of their tentative deal with the airline. CUPE says it includes a more than 18% wage hike over 3 years, along with increased time off and higher food and uniform allowances. It also features a new duty period premium, which adds compensation for work done on the ground. All WestJet flights were grounded Sunday as 4,400 flight attendants walked off the job. They returned after news of the deal Monday. A ratification vote is set for the coming weeks. Now to an amazing story of survival and the perseverance of BC's search and rescue crews. A 25-year-old hiker has been found alive after spending 3 nights stranded on the edge of a cliff, alone and unprepared in the Vancouver Island backcountry near Mount Washington. CTV's Andy Garland has the details.
Keshav Jindal is being stretchered to an waiting ambulance after spending almost 4 days on a cliff band in the Strathcona wilderness.
He has significant injuries as a result of a fall.
This morning, an RCMP helicopter searching drainages spotted Jindal.
And he was waving on something white.
And he is in a drainage, so a gully going off the side of the cliff, and that is where he has been probably for the last few days.
A technical hoist rescue team was launched to pluck Jindal off the mountainside, who is on a 60 to 70 degree slope.
Members will be hoisted down to him. They will assess him medically, treat what needs to be treated.
Friends of Jindal await anxiously for his return, never giving up hope their friend would be found alive.
Our man is alive, so that's why we are here, just to see him, that he is okay, he is fine. Or not.
Him and his buddy walked up to here.
Search and rescue believe Jindal tried to take a shortcut down to a lake when he was waiting for his friend to return from summiting Mount Albert Edward on Monday.
If you zoom in, you can see that it's pretty steep cliffs. We're not sure how he got in there. Very lucky.
Comox Search and Rescue says this incident is a reminder why hiking parties should stick together, or if someone is unable to continue and decides to wait for your return.
Stay where you were. It's a lot easier to find you if you stay where you say you were going to be.
SAR says Jindal is also suffering from being exposed to the elements for a number of days and was airlifted to a trauma center. Andy Garland, CTV News, Mount Washington.
After the break, trading barbs with the U.S. while trying to hammer out a trade deal before new tariffs kick in. Plus,
one cell could go bad or a couple cells could go bad.
They power everything from cell phones to e-scooters. The explosive danger posed by lithium batteries. Next. Canada's top trade officials were back at the negotiating table in Washington today, just 1 day after the leaders of both countries traded barbs. The clock is ticking to reach a deal with a new set of tariffs set to kick in less than 2 weeks. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
Canada's minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade was overtly optimistic heading into his meeting with U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. Dominic LeBlanc says he's hopeful a deal can be reached before 50% tariffs kick in August 19th. A clear contrast to President Donald Trump's comments Wednesday night.
Canada's nasty. They're nasty.
At an aluminum plant hit hard by American tariffs, Prime Minister Carney had a more measured tone.
C'est une négociation tough.
He called the negotiations tough, conceding one could also use the word nasty. Carney made no apologies for wanting a comprehensive deal that addresses tariffs on the steel, aluminum, auto, and forestry sectors.
Will we get all of that by the 19th of August? We'll see, but we want to have pathways in order to get that.
Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre says Carney hasn't been tough enough, adding Canada got nothing for removing counter tariffs on the U.S. and for ditching the digital services tax on American tech firms.
We're calling on him to take the leverage that he has not yet squandered, take it to the bargaining table, and get something in return for a change.
There has been a suggestion to leverage our energy and potash exports to the U.S. Well, that move could also impact Canadians. This former special advisor on Canada-U.S. relations to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau believes it shouldn't be discounted.
In the sense that we know it would have tremendous impact on the U.S. and be very effective leverage in this relationship right now.
Canada's supply-managed dairy sector has been an irritant to the Americans in these negotiations. Carney defended the decades-old policy, saying it helps consumers and farmers. Hardly a shock, considering he was also campaigning with his candidate for a by-election in Quebec at the end of the month. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
In Washington, a Senate committee voted today to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress and refer him to the Justice Department for potential prosecution.
Dr. Fauci faced no risk of federal prosecution. All he had to do was tell the truth. More than 100 times, though, he refused. The chair ruled that Dr. Fauci's assertion of the Fifth Amendment privilege was unsupported in light of the pardon and the testimony he offered in his opening statement.
The vote focused on Fauci's refusal to answer questions at a hearing last week on his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination more than 100 times. Fauci's lawyer called this morning's vote partisan and accused Senator Rand Paul of abusing his power by trying to weaponize the Justice Department. A house fire sparked by an e-scooter in Calgary is highlighting a growing concern among firefighters. CTV's Moses Waldu has more on the potential dangers of lithium-ion batteries and why they have become such a problem.
Calgary Fire were called Thursday morning to a home on Cove Creek Mews Northeast, where an e-scooter overheated and started to go up in smoke. One occupant was being treated for smoke inhalation.
It did originate in the garage. There's no fire damage to the home, so all the smoke is just being cleared out with one of our fans.
It's becoming an issue for Calgary Fire. In 2026, 18 fires, residential or businesses, were a result of lithium batteries, nearly exceeding 2025 numbers of 19. They say it's a combination of issues from offshore batteries that are not certified in Canada or damaged, among others.
We are seeing, and perhaps where they're not charged correctly or looked after properly, we're certainly seeing that. And every fire service around the world is seeing exactly the same thing.
The trend isn't unique to Calgary. Fire officials in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver have all warned about a growing number of lithium-ion battery fires. It's why Calgary Fire is getting the word out to residents to prevent future fires. Several recommendations include using the charging cable your device comes with, avoid charging things overnight, especially when you're not going to check on it frequently, and look where you are charging those devices.
Particularly with phones, is making sure you charge them on a hard, flat surface like a table or a desk. Where there's a concern is if you charge a device on soft material like a mattress or a couch cushion or under any blankets, it actually the device gets hot enough to light those items on fire. So those are a couple different things that people can do to stay mindful.
One expert says anything charging beyond its full capacity is risking a fire.
One cell could go bad, or a couple cells could go bad, which means low capacity, and the balancing gets out of whack, and then too much charge or too much discharge happens in one or two cells. You get smoke and possibly fire.
The fire department is also dealing with a large number of batteries that are not certified coming into Canada, something they hope to rectify through policy.
We're pushing for greater regulation both nationally, and we're having those conversations locally as well.
It is the end of an era.
The Snowbirds debuted here at Canada's National Air Show in 1971.
It's the final season for the iconic Snowbirds as we know them, how they're gearing up for their farewell shows right here in Metro Vancouver. Plus, imagine coming across a coyote in your home. It happened to a family in Toronto. We have the tale of the unwanted visitor in just a few minutes.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch, a spectacular shot from English Bay looking towards the North Shore Mountains under a mostly sunny sky.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
Your Morning Minute, brought to you by ASUS.
Well, back to school shopping season has begun, so what do you need to know before making a big ticket purchase? Tech expert Andy Berard joins us now. So Andy, what are some of the laptops folks should be looking at?
Well, I have 3 laptops from ASUS here, and it's really for every type of student.
Okay.
For the majority of students, I'm going to recommend this one. This is the ZenBook A14, and this one has an incredible battery life. 33 hours of battery life on a full charge.
This one's a bit of a bigger screen.
Yeah, so if you want a bigger screen, we have the ASUS ZenBook A16. This one has an OLED screen, which is also a touch screen.
Lovely.
Under the hood, it has the Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme.
Okay.
Perfect for productivity.
And for our more creative students?
Yeah, if you're an artistic student, this is the one that I recommend. It's their ProArt PZ14. This is made specifically for videographers and the creative types because it has a beautiful 3K screen, everything you need, and 17 hours of battery life.
All right. Well, Andy, thanks so much for joining us this morning. And if folks want to shop more, they can head online to ASUS's website. Thanks again.
My pleasure.
Watch Your Morning Vancouver, weekdays 6 to 9 on CTV, and watch live on Crave.
Oh, Betty!
Most people like to take it easy once they hit their 90s, but this woman from the UK didn't get that memo. 97-year-old Betty Bromwich has broken her own Guinness World Record for the oldest female wing walker.
When you get old, you can't go here, you can't do this, you can't drive, you can't see. I can't see very well. And I get a bit frustrated. So I want to do the things that I can do.
Well, Betty has done 6 wing walks since the age of 87. This year, she raised money for her local hospital, which looked after her when she had a stroke last year. Go, Betty. Well, for the last time, the Snowbirds will fly their iconic 1960s-era Canadian-made planes over the Fraser Valley. They're performing at the Abbotsford Air Show this weekend as they head into the final stretch of their last season for several years. CTV's Martin McMahon spoke to one of the pilots with roots here in Metro Vancouver.
From the sounds of roaring engines to the seemingly superhuman skill of the pilots, you never forget your first time watching the Snowbirds.
With the tutor and the Snowbirds having been traveling around inspiring Canadians for 55 years, Abbotsford's the spot where for me I first had that light go on, and now it's very special to be on the other side of that.
But getting that experience of watching Canada's military aerobatic team is a limited time offer, with the Snowbirds set to be grounded in October until the 2030s, not long after this appearance at the Abbotsford International Air Show. The military is replacing the iconic but aging CT-114 Tudor with a newer jet.
Because it's a little bit slower and has a tighter turning radius than, say, the Blue Angels or the Thunderbird south of the border, it's just a different kind of show where we get to be able to turn tighter in front of the crowd, stay in front of the crowd a lot, and perform a lot of formation changes in loops and rolls. So that's something that I think is really unique about it.
The significance of this farewell tour not lost on crew and pilots, including Major Steve Tim, who grew up in Surrey.
It's a very special year, and I consider myself really fortunate to get to be a part of it.
The Abbotsford International Air Show has been a part of the Snowbird story from the beginning, and so it's a fitting stop on this farewell tour.
The Snowbirds debuted here at Canada's National Air Show in 1971. They are one of Canada's most recognizable symbols and one that has had a deep impact on our community over the last 55 years.
The Abbotsford Air Show will run from Friday to Sunday. And even when this final tour for this aircraft is complete, the Snowbirds will fly again, but never like this. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Abbotsford.
A lot of criminals will use something like a mask to try and conceal their identity, but this man got creative. Authorities in Georgia are hoping the public can help identify what they're calling a walking houseplant. They say the man behind these leafy branches is suspected of stealing a vehicle. The sheriff's office posted this ring camera video on social media captioned, "Let's just say Mother Nature isn't an invisibility cloak." This is some Scooby-Doo level stuff right here. You can just see that he just thought, well, what would Scooby-Doo do? Well, he'd hide in a shrubbery, of course.
But not well. That's the funny thing about it. He's not doing a good job at it.
No.
But yeah, thinking outside the box. That's what we like. All right, let's take a look at our forecast today. Not as smoky as what we saw yesterday, but still it is dry and hot, all thanks to this ridge of high pressure pretty much dominating the whole province as we head into tomorrow and into the weekend for as far as the eye can see, really. We still have air quality warnings in place in orange, the Eastern Fraser Valley, Thompson, Okanagan, as well as Shuswap, 100 Mile, Nicola, and the Fraser Canyon. And Eastern Fraser Valley is mentioned in that. In the yellow warnings, Metro Vancouver is still included in that. The Caribou, Fraser Canyon, as well as the Okanagan, stretching all the way to Elk Valley as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. So the health risk has lowered. It's a lot better today. As you can see, it's low to moderate across the lower mainland. Good news for the Eastern Fraser Valley, which was at extreme high risk the last couple of days. So right now we are seeing clear conditions, and that's what we can expect as we head through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Sunny skies. We'll start off the day at 18 degrees. UV index will be 7 or high. By 3 o'clock, we'll see temperatures between 24 degrees near the water, 28 degrees inland. Sunny skies continue at this time tomorrow night as well at 23 degrees. A chance of afternoon thunder showers tomorrow for the central interior. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. 19 degrees for Port Hardy tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud. Mostly sunny conditions for Campbell River and Comox at 25. That's what you can expect for the South Island from Tofino right down to Victoria with temperatures between 19 and 30 degrees. Sunny skies once again for the Sunshine Coast at 24. Warm up the Sea to Sky Highway. 26 for Squamish, 27 for Whistler, and for us across the lower mainland. Blue skies, sunshine, 24 degrees near the water, 28 degrees inland. Mix of sun and cloud for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with inland temperatures between 25 and 27. On Tuesday, sunny skies, temperatures between 22 degrees near the water, 26 degrees inland, and then it warms up even more. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see temperatures inland between 27 and 29 degrees near the water, between 23 and 24. So as I mentioned before, no rain in sight, even though we desperately need it.
All right. Well, thank you, Anne.
You're welcome.
A Toronto family found themselves with an unwanted house guest earlier this week that left a big mess. A young coyote snuck inside through an open door and made itself comfortable in an upstairs bedroom. And if that wasn't bad enough, the pup was covered in mange. Thankfully, staff with the Toronto Wildlife Service was nearby and they were able to rescue it.
It was a concern, especially once I shut my bedroom door behind a coyote that had mange and was on my bed. Not a great feeling.
A veterinary team did a quick exam. The coyote was treated for mange before being released back into the wild. The family says they will be sharing this story for years to come. Well, after the break, she was booted from Instagram.
I was like, what? So I quickly go on Instagram and I see a page that says your account's been disabled.
She has no idea why, and she's not alone. Why more people are getting blocked or having their accounts deleted without warning or recourse. Next. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded at a little more than 71 cents U.S. Oil was up by around $2, trading around $77 U.S. a barrel. Gold saw a $5 bump. On the stock market, the TSX lost 10 points. The Dow Jones lost 464 points. BCE says record audiences for the FIFA World Cup helped drive Bell Media revenues higher to $918 million in the second quarter. The company cited strong demand for commercial space during the 104 matches it aired. The number of subscribers to Bell's streaming service Crave also reached nearly 5.1 million. Meantime, the company reported slower growth in sales of postpaid cell phone plans, citing fewer promotions and slower population growth. CTV Vancouver is a division of Bell Media. About 9 out of 10 Canadians use at least one social media platform every week, and some of us are on them for hours a day. For some people, social media is a huge part of their lives. So what happens if you're kicked off a platform with no chance of returning? Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
Letitia Van Roombeck of Toronto has had her Instagram account for 16 years. She uses it to post photos and videos and stay in touch with contacts she's made around the world. It's why 2 months ago she was shocked when she was locked out of her account.
My sister texted me, I was at work, and she goes, "Did you delete your Instagram? Disable your Instagram?" And I was like, "What?" So I quickly go on Instagram and I see a page that says your account's been disabled.
Van Roombeck says her account was blocked after she was told she had posted something that violated community guidelines. She felt she hadn't, and when her mother tried to help her back on the platform, she was locked out.
She tried to start another account and the same message came through. So it's almost like it banned her from Instagram totally for no reason.
Van Roombeck was not told what post caused the problems. Meta Pro Team said in an email, Meta already acknowledged an error with your Instagram account. You cannot request another review. Meta has finalized their decision.
It's just so derailing for something that's been my go-to for 16 years since I'm since I'm a teen to an adult now.
No one really knows why their accounts were suspended.
Technology analyst Carmi Levy says most content on social media platforms is reviewed by AI bots, so they can misinterpret photos as being offensive when they're completely harmless. He says once you're kicked off a platform, it can be almost impossible to get back on.
There are no humans involved in this process. AI determines that the account is over the line. AI determines whether they get reinstated or not, and there's simply no opportunity to speak to a human who can help them.
Van Roombeck is glad she has some of her precious memories from other sources, but says Meta should be using people to flag inappropriate content and not AI.
I just hope that they get humans on it and bad guys out, good guys keep their stuff.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Some good news for Cineplex. The company is reporting its highest weekend box office revenue of all time. It's thanks to two big summer blockbusters. Spider-Man Brand New Day debuted with a mind-boggling $360 million. And The Odyssey's long box office adventure continues, earning $51 million in its fourth week. Along with record sales, Cineplex says it also recorded its highest ever food service revenue. A new trailer is out for Primetime, the upcoming A24 film starring Robert Pattinson as Dateline NBC's To Catch a Predator host, Chris Hansen.
Are you sure your parents aren't home?
I'm sure.
Big night planned. Who are you? You should have a seat right there.
The drama thriller follows Hansen's high-profile sting operations to catch child predators. It's set to hit theaters next month. After the break, Island Life, a record-breaking sale for a private island off the Sunshine Coast, will reveal the price tag for this piece of paradise. And later, Jessica's journey. Adam finds out how a woman transformed grief into gratitude. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's Carrie with a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Well, Friday on Your Morning Vancouver, we'll have the latest on BC's wildfires. We'll take a look at the communities that have been left devastated and how you can help. Also, you think you're good at the Rubik's Cube? We'll introduce you to the world of speed cubing and the BC Championships this weekend. And we'll meet the UBC student with cystic fibrosis who just completed an Ironman. Wow. We'll see you in the morning.
The ball in. Still with Canada. This shot. Oh! Stupendous!
That spectacular goal helped Canada book a spot in the Under-20 World Cup, which will be played next year in Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan. The thrilling win over Jamaica also sent Canada to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Under-20 Championships, where they'll take on Mexico tomorrow night. Leila Fernandez has advanced to the third round of the National Bank Open in Toronto. The 30th ranked Fernandez won in straight sets. She's now one win away from matching her best showing at the tournament, a round of 16 appearance in 2023. Fernandez is the only Canadian still standing in women's and men's singles draws. If you've never been to a BC Lions game before, now is your chance. The team's new initiative, First Game on Us, lets would-be fans experience their first game free of charge. Fans who haven't been to a game since 2019 are also able to get a complimentary ticket. Eligible fans can claim up to 2 free tickets on the BC Lions website. An historic sale is making waves in BC's real estate market after a private island sold for a record-breaking price. Turn Again Island has sold for a whopping $13 million, making it the highest valued residential property sale ever recorded on the Sunshine Coast through the multiple listing service. Nestled in the heart of Secret Cove, Half Moon Bay, the 93-acre property was purchased by someone from the greater Vancouver area. And Lou, the private island features 2 homes, a deep water dock, and multiple boathouses. Can I have one of the boathouses?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Yes, you can. Come on over anytime.
It has an airstrip for your private jet,
exactly.
right?
That's amazing considering a one condo in Vancouver is $13 million.
Exactly.
It's a bargain.
So you get a lot of land for that money.
You sure do.
Well, a critically endangered Addicks calf is getting ready to make its debut at a zoo in New York. The calf, which doesn't have a confirmed name or gender yet, was born to parents Patricia and Dune on July 4th. The birth marks the 25th Addicks born at the Buffalo Zoo since 1991. Addicks are a type of antelope which once roamed parts of North Africa. They're known for a white X-shaped marking on their face. Experts say there are only about 100 left in the wild. I don't know how many people are actually listening to what I'm saying because that calf is just so darn cute.
I name it Sam.
Sam? And that works for,
exactly.
Doesn't matter. Very cute.
Looks like a cow-moose cross.
Yeah, well, maybe a little goat-like.
Yeah, okay. I see it.
Very cute.
A coos.
Yeah, a coos. All right, enough of this. Before we get to the Sawatsky sign-off, Kevin, what do you have for the late night?
Well, Nafisa, Burnaby RCMP are looking for a suspect after a woman reported being sexually assaulted near Ron McLean Park. We'll have more on what police say happened and the description authorities hope will lead to an arrest. Plus, we're learning more about last night's devastating apartment fire that displaced dozens of people in Chilliwack. 36 units were impacted, and the head of a local charity says the community is rallying to support the many people now scrambling to find a place to live. We'll have more on the relief efforts and all your late-breaking news coming up at 11:30.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kevin.
You bet.
Well, a debilitating accident and dismal diagnosis turned the life of a Vancouver woman upside down. Adam found out how she was able to turn the grief into gratitude on tonight's Encore Sawatsky sign-off.
While Molly the dog can do all sorts of tricks, Jessica Kruger is most appreciative of her pup's personality.
I feel like she has the stubbornness that I have, so that's what I love most about her.
Now, Jessica was certainly stubborn when, after falling 2 stories during a workplace accident, dismissed her doctor's diagnosis that she was a quadriplegic.
At that time, I was like, no, I'm going to fight. I'm going to figure out a way and be able to walk again.
You see, Jessica has always been active and involved in all sorts of athletics.
That was a huge part of my identity. I need a sport. Like, what's my sport going to be?
That's when Jessica was introduced to wheelchair rugby.
Those chairs are built to smash into each other, and I think there was some sort of release in that for me.
It turns out Jessica had been repressing a lot of feelings around the accident before she found the courage to enter therapy.
It made me able to be honest with the people around me, which made me feel less alone.
Jessica was also empowered to stop hoping for the way things were and start making the most of how things are.
It's that internal thing within you that gets to decide what you're capable of.
For Jessica, that's earning a place on the provincial wheelchair rugby team and working to educate and empower others.
There's so many ways to do things differently, and I just want people to understand that and stop underestimating me and other people like me.
Along the way, Jessica also launched her own business, married the love of her life, and rather than regard her accident with regret, realized she couldn't be more grateful for its gifts.
I don't necessarily think that I would want somebody else to have to go through this journey, but I've like the person that I've become because of the challenges that I've faced. All of the things that I love in my life are because of the accident.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Such a great lesson, and something so many people struggle with is self-love.
Yeah.
Jessica's got it figured out.
Yeah, so inspirational. All right, here's a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. A smoky sunset above the Bloedel Conservatory. Thanks, Dennis, for sending this beautiful photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
That is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us. Stay up late to watch Kevin at 11:30. See ya.
Good night.